Welcome to another episode
What are you laughing about?
of show. You weren't muted, and you were like do 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 do, like with the song and everything.
Dope. I like that little beat at the end with the countdown.
I was like, wait, are we not muted? I was like, no, you're not muted. Yep.
What up? Welcome back. Hope you all had a great weekend.
Whoo, another episode, and welcome to the channel, Sibling Rivalry. I'm Lynn.
I'm Ray.
That's Ray. Welcome to our community. We're aiming to be givers of love, givers of good vibes, and givers of strength through conversation.
I'm gonna throw a curveball. What'd you do to your tatas?
To my boobs?
Yeah, did you do a job over the weekend or something?
No, I'm actually wearing a bra today.
I'm like, geez, what the hell's going on over there?
Yeah, some cleavage. Hello.
So that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get more viewers.
Oh man, it's so crazy you notice. No, and you know what it is? I also have like a deeper cut shirt on, so just drawing the eyes in. Hello.
Like, look, we're losing subscribers. We need to do something. Signs of desperation, people. Click like down below.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yep. I know Victoria's Secret.
Hold on, I gotta yell. All right, I'm back. Had to take care of some stuff behind the scenes.
So it's a rainy Tuesday. It's
no, I gotta hold my line.
It's kind of what the Northeast has like been becoming between like the last year and maybe like the last 2 years. We've been getting so much rain in the fall.
Yeah,
I remember thinking last year, like, dude, this is not Seattle. Enough with the rain.
I need the rain though. I need to fill up my well.
Okay.
I got 3 boys in this house. They're always constantly taking showers.
Oh man, good old well water. It smells like eggs. Oh
no, mine doesn't smell. It doesn't smell.
For those of you who have never experienced like nasty well water, it's gross. It's gross.
Which I don't know why that was like that, because hold on, let me fix this here. I think it looks like it's gonna fall on me. Don't collapse on me. I'm all falling apart over here on a Tuesday. All right. Better? Is that better?
More stable, yes.
More stable? Yeah, it was like all over the place.
I feel like you're like in your costume again. You're making sure your connection is good.
What?
Can you see me, human?
Yes. Miscommunications.
Mm-hmm.
So like the number one. So we're here on Thursday and we're just like shooting the shit and really didn't have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You're throwing stuff at the cat.
I threw a towel at the cat. It didn't work. It landed on him. He just kept it on him.
Oh my goodness.
Get off my couch. Jeez.
You're literally fighting with the cat while we're on air.
Yeah, I do. I'm the kind of like cat mom that doesn't let my cats jump up on furniture and stuff. So anytime they're up there, I cut that. Just get off.
Hey, Tris, welcome back to the show.
Hey,
Greetings
Tris,
and salutations, Earthling.
A little bit of a Ray's Alien is coming out today.
You know, it's funny. Thursday show, we're like scrapping for ideas. We're just like, I don't know what to talk about. And like the biggest news topic, the Queen passing away at 96. We didn't even bring that up. Didn't even mention it. It's like the news headlines.
I didn't even know she passed.
You didn't hear about this?
Damn, that was quiet. Okay.
That was quiet. You literally have no connection whatsoever to the news.
I read some Bitcoin news yesterday.
Do you not use Twitter? Do you not use Facebook?
I don't use either of those, no.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
So it has not popped up on my Pinterest feed. And Candace Owens has not spoken about it. I feel like those are the only two places I find.
That's the only thing you follow? Well, at least you follow Candace Owens. I like Candace Owens. She's dope. She calls it like it is. She tells the truth. They don't like her. They say she's a sellout.
Oh Lord.
Which that's the thing that I don't understand. Going on a little rant. But like when you're black and you don't tout the black message like they want you to tout it, why is it okay for them to call you like an Uncle Tom and all that stuff and go against you? Isn't that like a form of racism too?
That's a good question because being someone who grew up in a rural community and still has ties to rural communities, that's definitely like something that I hear often. It's like, those are like the white black people.
Right. It's like, oh, you're not part of us.
That's what those don't count. That's what they say. They literally say that. They don't count.
Yeah, they don't count. Yeah, like, wait, what?
Yeah, they think they're better than us, kind of thing.
Yeah, I have my own struggles. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt it all my life because, I was the gringo in the Hispanic community. So I was like ousted by the Hispanic community. That's why I'm like, I don't want no ties. I have no allegiance. I'm like, look, I'm an individual. Take me for who I am. Don't try to lump me into that whole Latinx thing. I'm none of that because they don't want me. It's crazy. It's crazy. I never understood that. So if you go against their narrative, then you're just as bad as their enemies.
Basically.
Even though you look just like them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Never understood that one.
That's why they also say like, racism isn't just, about, between races. It's within the race as well. I think that's why we had such a big push for like the Stop Asian Hate, because they were starting to feel like almost like the bar was too high for them, and they felt prejudices towards them, even from their own groups.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember when it was a push. I think this was back in like 2020, right when that whole summer of love thing was going on. And I don't know if it's still out there, but the whole thing where they were trying to say that, oh, blacks can't be racist. I was like, what are you talking about? They're racist against their own. It's like, and I see it all the time, especially when I go to the barbershop. I'm like, yo, and you got the Nigerian guy in there, right? And they're always cracking out that guy. He's like, because he's so dark, or if he's too light, he's not black enough. That's the one that gets me too. Like, they're like, oh, Jake's white. He's like, he ain't black enough. He doesn't know the struggle. He's not struggling hard enough.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's why everybody needs a trophy nowadays, because like we've become such a blended society where we don't even like fit into our stereotypes anymore.
No, it's like it's like,
so you know what? Everyone needs a trophy. That's it.
Actually, there was articles that came out where they were like, why white Hispanics are part of the problem. So I guess now I'm part of the KKK. According to the new articles, I'm part of the KKK. Yeah, that's me. I'm like, oh, great. Even another reason for them to attack me.
Ah, jeez. You just can't catch a break.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm public enemy number one.
Damn, so I didn't hear about the
Queen?
About the Queen. No, this is like news to me. Shit. She was old as shit.
96.
Holy crap.
But America still won. Listen, we still won. Hold up, we still won.
Oh, Jesus.
Betty White lasted till 99. Yeah, USA.
That's so awful. Oh my God.
That was one of the memes.
Oh my God.
Yo, so I can't believe you, because this is like nonstop. This is all I've been hearing all weekend long. And like, I don't even follow the Queen like that, but it's like everywhere. It's on Facebook. Like all my friends are posting. It's on
It's the weirdest
Twitter.
thing. I don't really follow the royal family, but they're everywhere. in the
Yeah.
US, like,
Yeah, they have
oh,
an
these ones
influence.
are
Yeah.
getting married and these ones are having kids. So I guess when it makes it to the tabloids at the checkout line in the grocery store, that's when I'll be like,
That's
oh,
when
she's
you'll catch up to
a
it.
queen. Yeah.
But you don't even go into the store. You have them come out.
They bring
So
it
it
to the
just
car
pulls
for
up and she's
me.
like, put it in the back.
No, so my app stopped working and I've been buying groceries the old fashioned way. Sucks.
Because of your new phone?
It feels prehistoric. No. It happened a couple months ago. I've been just like buying groceries.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
Yeah.
man, really? Seriously? Because you're getting your phone?
And it's funny because like I fill my fridge, like I fill it full, and then I wait until it's like literally empty before I go again. Whereas like
That
before
must cost you an
I had
arm and a
the
leg then.
rotation, I was restocking my regulars every week. Like
Yes, Trish, she got a new phone, and I was trying to convince her to get the iPhone. She won't listen.
no, so I went with the Galaxy, the S22,
She don't even know.
Samsung S22.
You already told me you had the 22. That's what I was like, seeing what your trade-in value was.
No, I had the 21 and I just upgraded to the 22.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
The
goodness.
22 has a stylus. I'm loving it.
That's why, for a stylist.
I mean, it was between this and like a flip phone, which I don't know. I don't want to go back to a flip phone. Not now.
But it was
Not now.
a dope flip phone because it was the one that like you could. It was the screen folds in half.
Yeah, and it becomes
That's kind of cool.
It becomes like the double wide, almost like
Yeah.
screen.
No, you weren't looking at the Samsung one that it's regular, like it's like this, but then it folds like that.
No, not that one. I didn't like that one at all.
Oh,
No.
you didn't like that one at all?
No.
Oh, I thought that one was cool because it gets
No.
smaller.
Awful. It didn't feel good in my hand. Like nothing about it. Nope.
So Liv's gonna have another year of being a green bubble.
Yeah.
No FaceTime for you. That's hilarious.
So Samsung is coming a little ways. We have our own like it's like built in now within our phone system to have like the FaceTime feature. Right now it's only between like, Samsung to Samsung kind of thing, but
So you can't use it with nobody.
a bunch of people I talk
Man,
to.
all your friends got iPhones. Stop lying. All your friends got iPhones. You know it. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of peep that when I'm around her friends. I'm like, what phones are they using? They all use iPhones.
Yeah, everyone is. I told you when I started like liking people's messages back to them, they were like, "Oh, Lynn, you finally got an iPhone." I was like, "No."
Yeah, Google Duo. What is that? What are you using? Google Hangout? AOL Messenger? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, man, technology is coming a ways for us over here. You know what does stink though? So, oh my God, tremendo bochinche. Holy crap.
Oh my goodness, she's bringing out the Spanish. She's going hard.
My kids are driving me crazy right now. So my daughter dropped her cell phone, broke the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So her dad is planning to send money, says she could get her phone fixed. Great, perfect solution. So I went ahead and I fixed the phone because I know that money is coming. Now I've gone into her phone. I'm finding apps that she's not supposed to have. I'm finding, like photos and videos and text messages and just all these things.
Told you she was going to be a handful. She's going to be knocked by
crap.
15, I'm telling you.
Holy
Just
crap.
call it like I see it. I don't mean to, like,
that's unfair.
Ill,
that's unfair because people used to say that about me.
Yeah, and you did it at 18. Wow, you prolonged it for 3 years.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I finished school and like I have a college degree and like I did all this shit that everybody's like, "Oh, you're supposed
that, and nobody's taking away your kudos." But do you really want that for your daughter, or do you want her to kind of like settle down or relax, chill out, and kind of do all that other stuff later on down the road with somebody who actually means something? Like you complain all the time that dad's not in the picture, or that you had the kids with somebody that was wrong. Like, why do you want your daughter to be knocked up with some rando and then she's stuck with this child?
But I'm not saying that. You just said that my daughter's gonna be pregnant at 15, and
Well,
of course
yeah,
that's frustrating.
you're
So why
finding,
would you
but
say? Why would you say
no,
that's what I
it's
want from her
frustrating.
though?
It's frustrating, but look at what you're finding on her phone already. At what? How old is she?
She's 12.
Okay, so then if you heeding the warnings, you don't want to heed the warnings. That's on you. You can get mad all you want, but then you can't deny what's coming. Got to
So
control that situation. You got to control that situation. That's your house. Man the battleship.
yeah, I am. Which is why I just
Well,
said I'm
actually,
going through my children's
yeah,
phones.
the iPhone, but that was the reason why you got the iPhone, so you could lock that shit down
Exactly.
with your
Exactly.
iPad. Yo, you got to be like some of the parents who are like, yo, you only got a certain amount of screen time, and like the web stops, like it shuts down, and they're like, Dad, can I have like 30 more minutes or something like that? That's what this guy told me. This guy came in from one of our audits, and he was like, in the middle of the audit, he gets the text message, and he's like, oh, give me 1 sec, I gotta. My kid's asking if he could get permission for this. I was like, wait, what? And then he
Mhm.
explained to me. That's how I learned about how like you can lock down the iPhone like that. And so he was like telling me all the stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do. You got to just get up in there, lock
So
her shit down.
it was my mistake because that's how I have their phone set up throughout the school year. But then summertime I remove their screen limits, and in doing so, I also like disabled them having to go through me for permission to download apps. So, like she went away to her father's house for a few weeks for the summertime, and that's when she went crazy on her phone. So now
How
we are
though?
in
If you had it locked
September.
down,
Because like I said, like the summertime came and I removed those like time restraints. And I feel like in doing so, I also removed like the need to like go through me for like to download apps and stuff.
mm-hmm.
So because I paused it for the summertime, she went crazy on her phone. And it's like, what the hell? That's exactly the reason why she has the restrictions that she has
But
on there.
and here's the thing. Like I keep like we have this conversations a lot, and like you're worried about your son, your oldest, right?
Mhm.
But your son still knows how to be a kid. Whereas with your daughter, I don't feel like she went from being like 11 to being a 20-year-old woman.
Mhm.
That's
Get
like her
out.
mindset. That's like her mindset. And it's like you gotta let her know that it's okay to be a kid. That goes from like the trivial things from the way she dresses. Like she dresses like she's 19. Like she should be dressing like she's 12. Like those are the little things like I feel like when I see her, I'm like, she just doesn't have a childhood. She doesn't want to have a childhood. She wants to act like she's grown. And like that's where you come in and you gotta say, like, look, it's okay to be a kid. Keep your innocence because once you lose that, you can never get that back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's one thing. Like in a way, like I see my kids and I'm like, yeah, maybe they're a little too innocent, but I'm like, you know what? I want them to embrace that as long as they can. Because then once the world gets a hold on you, man, the world, that's it. You just jaded. You're you know, that's how most people are.
Mm-hmm.
Jaded, self-centered, all that stuff. It's like I don't know, embrace that innocence. Gotta get her back to that. I don't know how you do it. I don't know because that's on you.
No.
But
And then my
you gotta get her back to her.
youngest,
Uh-oh.
I'm finding all kinds of things on his phone. And I'm like, well, dude, you're only 8 years old. But with him, it's more like expected because, like whatever environment that he is when he is like with his father's family. So on his phone, I'm finding him like taking videos of like girls, that he's just hanging out with that are supposed to, I'm assuming would be like family members. Cause I look at it as the way he hangs out with his cousins when he's here at my house, when he goes to my girlfriend's houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that kind of scenario where he's just hanging out in the room with the kids, but he's using his phone to make these girls feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, I need to nip this in the butt too. But I
Mm-hmm.
also feel like, how do I get dad involved with this when dad won't have a regular conversation with me?
Nope. And unfortunately, what's gonna end up being is if you and him can't get on that same page, you're just gonna be the bad guy to the point
Mm-hmm.
where he's not gonna want to be around you anymore.
Right.
I don't know. For your youngest, the only thing and I don't like the only thing I could see that would save him is if he joined the military
Mm-hmm.
for your youngest. I don't know. That's what I see. So that way he can get up and get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Really, seriously. Because I hate to say it, but I warned you with Pops because I knew Pops back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Your son's going to be in the streets.
That's my little guy.
Like, the only one, listen, the only one I have hope for is the one that you're so worried about. And I keep telling you, leave him alone. He's fine. He's not the one you need to worry about.
Yeah,
The
well,
other
that's also
two.
an outside looking in perspective, you know?
Oh, well, it's also, I listen, you didn't want to heed any of the warnings. I gave you lots of warnings.
You know what? It's hard to heed your warnings, Ray, when you come across like a bully. I feel like you
Mm.
and Ma, all you guys do is make fun of me and pick on me. So how am I supposed to listen to you guys for advice?
And then you always do that. And that's why you don't ever listen to anything. It's called constructive criticism, Lynn. Sometimes you got to hear the stuff. Listen, when you told me a lot of stuff, I may not listen to it at first, but you're always in my head. You're my little sister. You're always in my head. When it came to dating, when it came to the kids, when it came to a lot of stuff, you're in my head. The most recent thing you said is that my youngest, I'm a softie towards him.
Yeah.
So I started turning around. You know why I started turning around? Because he almost lit his house on fire. Little psycho. Yeah, he found my electric lighter, and you know the little fan that I got at the concert? He lit that shit on fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah.
kids, man.
So it's a two-way street. I hear the stuff because like you said, you know, when somebody's looking in from the outside, looking in, there's some things that I don't notice. So yeah, he could be maybe because he is, you know, he's my youngest, and I'm letting him get away with murder and shit. But I'm literally technically, yeah, Tris, I'm literally letting him get away with murder. He's gonna burn down this whole freaking house. And so, you know, this is the stuff that I gotta see, but I would not heed that warning, right? If I didn't value what you say.
Right.
Like, I value what you say. And does it hurt at the moment? Yeah, it hurts at the moment because I'm like, oh no, I'm not soft on it. What are you talking about? You know, I'll be in denial, but then it's in the back of my head. And then when I see the actions and then I see the way I interact with him, I'm like, you know what? I did go hard on the other two. That's why they're so good. And this one's a little shit. He does get away with murder. So now I got to put my foot down harder.
Yeah. That's the way it is with my youngest too. Like he is like in my eyes, he seems like a well-behaved kid. But
He
then like
is.
my older children, you know, like they say, like, well, behind, you know, closed doors, he's a bully. And he's the one antagonizing stuff. And like I'm getting the same information from different children that my son is the source. I'm like, that little guy, like he's such a good kid.
I see your youngest, and I'm like, I like, once again, it's not him. It's the influence around him. That's what I'm saying. On the other half, and it's not at your home. We know it's not at your house. When he goes with dad, that's the problem. And that's why I say like the military would be great for him because he could get away from all that. And of course, you know, I'm only talking about what I know. It's like he needs to get away. Where can he go at 18 to get away from that and have shelter and be safe and be taken care of? You know, I don't know anything else other than the military. And I'm only talking from my own experience, but he needs to get away from that. That's like the same thing. Like it's like when with our cousin, when I wanted him to join the military to get out of the city, right? To get away from the Bronx, get away from all his influence, get away from all that stuff, and start his life, jumpstart his life. That's the same thing. That's the same way I'm viewing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Kids.
And he's a good kid too. I love my little meeple. He just, you know, every time I see him, but I know the path that's coming for him, and that's the scary part. You know? That's the scary part.
Yep.
But anyway, let's go back to the Queen. She did. Yeah, Trist, I wish, but we can't afford that. Public school it is. You know, it's public school it is. So unfortunately, you know.
And you know what? It's easy to say, like, oh, you know, you have to put them in a more structured school and they should be in like different programs. But honestly, it comes down to you know, the house too, you know, like what we do at home and what they're doing in school, it's supposed to be a team effort. You know, we're all on the same side. We're supposed to be raising this individual to be, you know, constructive, you know, part of our society in the future. And I feel like that's something that we miss the mark on. especially, you know, with households with lower incomes where, you know, children are often left alone, and where children are, you know, pushed to grow up a little faster because maybe they are, you know, helping out and taking care of siblings, or, you know, maybe they are forced to start working early because their household needs more, you know, like we're putting a lot of pressure on our youth.
And to take it a step back with your daughter, I feel like you think I got too hard on her, but the reality is this is the reason why I'm glad I don't have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the same thing would happen to me if I had a daughter. And the reason why is because at this point, no matter what you say, society is going to get a hold on her.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you per se, it's the influence around her.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, little girls don't get a chance to be little girls anymore. Society
Right.
is telling them, oh, you gotta be sexualized at a young age. You gotta dress like this at a young age. And it's her friends. It's her friends. It's everybody
Mm-hmm.
over here. They're all like, oh, you gotta do this. This is what it means to be, a girl. It's like that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why can't you just let them be kids?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why do you? It's like back when it was like the whole toys. Like, it's all like, oh, these are girl toys, these are boy toys. Like, why can't you just let a kid play with toys?
Right.
It's like I don't understand that. Like, you gotta say, oh no, you gotta play with the Barbie, and the Barbie dresses like this. It's
Mm-hmm.
like all that stuff is influence on that child who doesn't even get to be a child. That's the thing. Like, I'm glad I don't have a daughter because I don't. I whatever I said, however strict I would be on my daughter, she would be
All right.
influenced
So reform
and
school.
yeah.
Reform school in the UK where child beating is still legal.
It's still legal here in the States. You just can't leave any kind of marks or anything like that. You can't go obsessive, but you can still spank your kid. And that's a lot of parents don't think that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
parents truly believe that you can't hit your kids anymore. And it's like, no, you could spank them, you could discipline them, you just can't go obsessive with it.
Right.
Like,
You
you got to
can't
know the
lose
limits.
control in trying to,
Right,
you know,
right.
shape your child, because ultimately, you know, like we only have influence for so long on our children, and you know we have to develop that from an early age. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of people, they try and regain control at a later age, and then it's too late, and then you're just battling your own, you know, emotions, and you can lose
Right.
control, and that's dangerous. Because at the end of the day, like, children are smaller than us. We do overpower our children. We will win.
Well, they're little adults. That's the way I look at them. I'm like, you look, you're
Mm-hmm.
little adults in training. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to realize at some point, if you look at your kids and you don't see that they're gonna be, like my boys. I look at them and I'm like, look, you're gonna be men someday. So I got to treat you like the men you're gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, if I'm getting, one of my mantras is, if I'm the hardest thing in your life, then you're gonna have an easy life because
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go out to that world and you're gonna be like, man, Dad was a lot harder on us. This is easy. This is a
Right.
cakewalk. That's the way I look at it. So
It's funny. That's what like my mind went to yesterday when I started going through the phones and like pulling shit. Oh
yeah, you got to
man.
be that way though. You got to
Oh
go gung
man.
ho and let them see
And
a
you know
side
what?
of you that they don't want to see.
It also solidified to me that I did make the right choice in getting my children cell phones when I did, because I didn't want my children to have cell phones. I didn't feel that they were ready for it. I still don't feel that they're ready for it. My oldest would have been getting a cell phone this year. Um but I saw that my two younger children, within like a week apart from each other, had brought home phones from their father's families. And they were
Mm,
just old, like tossed cell phones. They both had cracked screens. They didn't have like an actual cellular service, but I saw where that was going. And I was like, no, like if they're going to have cell phones, I'm going to be the one, you know, in control of it. I'm going to have access to these
regulating it.
phones.
Yep.
I can, you know, create punishments around these devices. I wanted that control, and I'm glad I, you know, took that step when I did. So parents out there, like, especially if you're going through like custody stuff, you know, remember, like, it's in your child's best interest for the adults to have the control, not the children. You know, if you realize you're the adult
Hmm.
who's enforcing the rules, then you need to be the one to bite the bullet and, you know, get their cell phones.
And I would say do your research because I know a lot of parents are lazy nowadays.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You guys are lazy. Do your research and look at the parental controls that Samsung and both, yeah, Samsung and Apple provides, right?
Hmm.
Because I believe Samsung has it too. If you have Samsung phones, you could do parental control on them.
It's actually not as so with Samsung, you have to pay like a monthly fee for that kind of control over the other devices. It's like a parenting maybe app or something that you have to download and create. With iPhone, it's built in.
Right.
So for me, I'm not an iPhone user, and I wanted my kids to have iPhones, and I wanted that level of security. So I got an iPad,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I control their phones. And I do. I get alerts when they want to download new apps. I get alerts when they would like extensions on like times and stuff. And even with that, I feel like I got too lenient towards the end of the school year. Like the point of having those on there is because your screen time is supposed to be limited. So just because, they don't have anything to do, like you don't have to extend those times. You don't have to, allow that every day. I was doing that, and that's horrible. Because it's easy,
You
like
should though.
if I
You
like push
should
the
though,
button,
because
if I push the button or whatever, it gives them an extra hour. It,
yeah,
allows
no,
me
it should be like
to.
that though. It should be every day because it's like these kids, man.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that, when they reach that time limit, they've reached that time limit. Now they need to find something else to do.
All right,
Like
it's all time.
enforce those limits that you've set.
Just as this PSA has not been endorsed by any candidate. All right. So then, I wanted you to take a look at a trailer.
Okay.
So putting some backstory behind this, over
Wait,
the
did you send me
weekend.
a link?
No, we're gonna Google it, and then when you find
Okay.
it, you can pull it up on screen, and then you can watch it. I want your reaction from it. So over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, over in California, Disney had their D23 conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is their annual conference for fans where you go and you can get a sneak peek of like some of the shows, movies, right, that's coming out. Of course, the last few years they've been heavily, going hard for Disney Plus, right?
Hmm.
So it was like the Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney stuff that are coming out on Disney Plus and whatnot. So one of your most beloved childhood cartoon movies, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is getting a remake, and so I want you to see the trailer. I want to see your reaction. So
Oh,
it's
geez. Okay.
you're on Google, yeah.
I'm
It's
on
the Little
Google.
Mermaid. It's the Little Mermaid. So it's the new live action movie for the Little Mermaid. No. Hold on. No, we'll pause it, because
I
I
know
want to
it
split
paused it.
screen
You
it.
guys have to see it too.
Yeah, split screen it, and I want to see your reaction, and then we can talk about it afterwards.
All right. Do you guys see the full thing?
Yep, and I believe it's good. It's like just a minute, right? It's just a sneak peek.
It's a minute, 20 seconds.
All right. It's kind of dark. Why is it so dark? Oh, because it's starting. Okay. Disney 100 years. I don't know. We need to talk over it for copyright reasons. I don't know. It's weird when you like play trailers and stuff. Maybe when the music kicks in, you can start singing it, Lynn. So it's your
Right?
voice.
Out of the sea, wish I could be part of that world.
That was it. That was all they showed.
That's it. That was it. That was it. That's all the show. But there's some
Okay.
controversy behind it, and
Okay.
I wanted your take before we get into the whole controversy behind it.
Well, first off, I'm excited because it is, one of the movies that it's the nostalgia, one of the movies that
Mhm.
I grew up with. I wasn't expecting her to be casted in that way, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I have to see the movie to find out how this.
So well, they're race baiting, right? So how do you feel as technically as a minority? How do you feel that they casted a minority in that role?
As a minority, I feel that wasn't. I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. That's not the original, like, Little Mermaid. Like, she was, a redhead. I don't know. You're catching me off guard here. I don't really know. Like, I'm like,
No,
oh my
that's the thing,
god,
though. That it's
what's
listen, it's your
going
emotion. So
on? I always feel as though they should just create new characters, like
that's
create a new movie.
100%
Create a
yes.
new movie, a new persona, somebody, for little colored children, little colored girls to relate to and look up to. I don't know how I feel about them changing a story that already was.
For example, I got really excited. I mean, I went to the movie theaters with my kids to go see Encanto because I felt like it gravitated towards us, right?
Mhm.
Like I heard the music and I was like, oh shit, I kind of digging the music in this. And we
Yeah, she had
went,
like the curly hair.
yeah, and my boys were like, when the music came in, they were dancing in the movie theater. It was hilarious. So like that was like a Latino story that resonated with us, right?
Hmm.
Like I know in your household it was constantly being played over
Always.
and over
We
again.
still break into song.
Yeah. So um and like once again, and when I was reading the comments, there was twofold. Two things that I noticed with the comments
Mhm.
before we'll talk about something else that happened with the comments, but you just gotta love the internet. I love the internet. I love the memes. But before the comments were hijacked, the two things I saw, other than the people just like applauding it, right? But I think people were applauding it because of the nostalgia of it. Like I
Mhm.
could see in your face, you got a little bit emotional when she
Yeah,
started
like you
singing
hear
it
the
because that was your
music. I'm like,
childhood.
oh, I know the
Yeah, that was your
words.
childhood. So a lot of people had that initial reaction of like,
Mhm.
oh, this is gonna be awesome, this is gonna be great. But then another people, like there was two things. One was they
I
were
was
like,
waiting for something too because of the way you set it up. I was like,
yeah.
what is it? What's it gonna be? I
Well,
was like,
I
oh,
didn't want to. I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to see your picking it up. Maybe it was just
okay.
me, or maybe it was just the trolls on the internet or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so the two things I got was, if Disney is so big on diversity, right? Why are they trying to erase one of the most minority groups out there, which is redheads, right?
Hmm.
And then two, like, isn't this somewhat of a disservice to Princess Tiana, right? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Right from the
from Princess and the Frog.
Right, who was deemed the first, black Disney princess, right? And that was a
Hmm.
big to do. Like, why did they just do a remake for that, a live action remake with that, and then casted her and have her, and then show her proudly, right?
Hmm.
Because right now, when you look at most of the princesses, right, they're all diverse, right?
Hmm.
Like when they redid Aladdin, they had an all, they made sure that they had an, was it Egyptian cast or whatever to represent Aladdin, right? When
Hmm.
they redid shoot, what was the other one that we did?
The Lion
I
King, not the
don't
Lion
drawing
King.
blank.
Why was not the one?
I'm drawing my blanks.
Beauty and the Beast.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
They
Beauty
they've
and the
done
Beast.
Beauty and the Beast live,
Yeah, they redid that
a
one, but there
live
was another one where
remake.
people were like, "Oh, that when they remade this one, they had a diverse cast for that too." Like they made sure they stayed authentic to the
Well, with
story.
the Lion King, when they did it, they made sure that they casted the voices by an all diverse cast.
Right. So they made sure like, oh, hey, look, they were being authentic.
Hmm.
So it's like, why couldn't they stay authentic to this? It's like you had, well, how long the Little Mermaid's story's been around? Like almost what, 20, 30 years?
A
That
long
people have
time.
like accustomed to her in a certain way, and then you're just gonna race swap her at this point. Like to
Hmm.
me, it doesn't make any sense. And then of course there's that outrage of from the black community saying like, why can't you do original stories? Why can't you go, do an original like African story
Hmm.
and prominently show that? Like why are we getting sloppy seconds? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I
Mm.
was reading. It was like, why are we getting sloppy seconds?
Yeah, yeah. It was unexpected. It's not what I was expecting from the Little Mermaid.
Yeah. So that trailer in itself right now has, I believe, 1.5 million downvotes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't see the downvotes because YouTube,
Downloads.
yeah, YouTube took that
Damn.
out for this sole reason, right? But there's ways that you can see it. I think it's like TubeBuddy or something like that can still show it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it has 1.5 million downvotes. And the comment section got hijacked, which is hilarious because they were like, um, um, making fun of like Disney's whole the message and women are so empowered and all this stuff. Now they're
Mm-hmm.
doing like important scenes from movies, other movies, or important like catchphrases from other movies, and they're like, "Man, I really love that part." Pull up the comments. It's freaking hilarious. They're like, "Man, I remember that part when Ariel was like, I feel the need for speed,' and then she took off. So empowering." It's hilarious. Yeah, just go through. Oh, did they turn it off?
Yeah, comments are turned off.
Oh, you can see the count right there for the dislikes.
Oh, come on. Dislikes. No, they won't show me after my score.
Because you got TubeBuddy right there, so I'm like, huh. But they won't show you the comments. They turned it off.
No,
They
so
were hijacked.
this is a keywords thing. It's not TubeBuddy.
Oh, okay.
The analytics. No, they just show the likes.
Yeah.
Compare.
But it's funny because like it's just every single one of the comments. They're just I guess that's the new thing now. Like whenever
Holy shit! It's had 12 billion views.
Well, yeah, over the weekend they started picking up steam as far as just people's reaction to it.
I think that was the channel's views, not the not the video's views. Never mind. I'm
Oh,
gonna stop.
Disney's views overall. Is that what it was? Gotcha.
The Disney Channel. So I started watching Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, yeah. How was that one?
I think I got about 8 minutes in, and I was like, I don't want to watch this. Damn it!
You know what's hilarious?
Love Marvel movies.
You know what is hilarious is because they're doing all this to pander towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're the customer they're trying to get, and I love it that you're just like, nah, I don't want to watch this.
That's it. This ain't it. It's not what I'm trying to watch. Yeah, it like cut. So it went through, of course, and it made Thor look like an idiot. He's all doing splits and stuff, trying to fight. I was like, I don't like stupid funny. I never have. I never will.
Yeah, the whole movie is stupid funny. Yeah.
Right. So then I was like, all right, let's get past this. And it's like, oh my God, he never found love. He gave up on love. And then they cut over to like the girl, and she was like, I guess having chemo, and like her friend was there talking to her. I didn't even finish that scene. I was like, I don't want to watch this movie.
Yeah, where they try to like strum out emotions from you.
Yeah, no.
Like feel a certain way for her, even though you know, like 2 seconds later they're gonna empower her and make her be better than Thor. But Disney started. Well, start back with was it the first? No, was it Avengers: Infinity War?
Mm-hmm.
No. It was Avengers: Infinity War started emasculating the Hulk, right? Trying to like downplay him, and then it was Endgame where they started emasculating Thor, where they had like Fat Thor, right?
Yeah,
and it was like that was like the downfall from like Thor as far as the character. Hulk too, because then Hulk was science Hulk,
and I was curious.
I
was like curious to see how they were going to bring him back, because I do remember like we left off and he had a gut and everything. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool that they tried like showing like, oh,
had him working out and everything.
He was getting back into it, but they made him look stupid, and I don't like stupid humor. It's just not for me.
And that's the whole movie. That whole movie is stupid humor. I'm glad you got it tuned out, because I think you would have gotten even more mad. I wish we could have a camera on you as you watch it so we can see your level of mad.
Right? See, at what point I was like, yeah, enough of this.
You're gonna be like, when you go to a wing joint and they have like the wing meter as far as like medium to like super hot. That's gonna be you like halfway through the movie. You're just gonna be so mad with the movie.
I I went on like a binge on YouTube watching when like all the celebrities like try the different wings.
Uh-huh.
And they try like the different levels of hot sauces. I think it's about hot sauces, not so much the wings. It's about the sauces. Holy crap. Like I watched like 8 different celebrities try all these challenges. I was like, what am I doing with my life?
That's what you get into. That's what you go deep in the rabbit hole for.
I don't even like hot sauce. I wouldn't even try the first one. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Like, I'll go down and conspiracy theories and all this. I'm like, oh my God, New World Order. And then's over here freaking hot wings. They're getting hotter. I'm Kevin Hart and I can't do miles.
Oh man. I saw Kevin Hart. He's the one who got me like to click on it. You know, I had just saw him in concert. I was like, oh, I'll watch this. That's how they get you, man. Clickbait.
That's hilarious.
Is that clickbait? So, I guess it is clickbait when they use celebrities for clicks.
Yeah, it is clickbait because it's a familiar face that you know, which is what they're doing. Like, they take a familiar story or a familiar character, and then they're like, we're going to swap it. We're going to make it all about politics. Mm-hmm. But you're going to click on it anyway. So I figured, I after Thursday's conversation, I kind of did a deep dive. I was like, analysis. I don't know why I did this analysis, but I figured out who She-Hulk is for. I figured out who the show's for. It's not for you. It's actually for me. It's to wow me up. It's for the fans of Marvel, right? Mm-hmm. To be, I don't know. It's like a trolley type of show that knowing that I'm gonna hate it and I'm gonna keep coming back every week just so I can hate on it. That's literally who the show's for. It's like their whole point is to get us a rise out of me.
It could be.
So yeah, it's gonna be viewed, and it's gonna be people just bashing on it because they even said that in the last episode. They were like, "Oh, we included this character, so now we have a Twitter force field for a week." Mm-hmm. Like they even mentioned that in the show, so I know that's exactly what they're doing. They get the whole point of the show is to get me pissed off at it.
So did you watch it this week?
Oh, I watched it last week. It hasn't come out this week.
Okay. Oh, so it's a Thursday topic?
Yeah, it's a Thursday topic. Okay. I'm gonna be like, this show sucks. But I'm still watching it. I don't know why. I get so mad at it. Like they're really working me. They're really working me with that show.
Damn.
So have you started watching on HBO the new Game of Thrones spinoff?
I have not.
It's actually pretty good. I think you'll like it.
Have you logged into HBO from my TV?
I don't have HBO. I gave you the way to get it.
Oh, you see, I have to go on there.
I gave you a beautiful ship with nice sails to sail the 7 seas. Use your pirate ship. Wink, wink, wink.
Got it.
Wink, 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 wink. I don't think I can do one eye. Wait.
I brought you back a pirate coin, some treasure from Turks and Caicos, and I found it the other day. I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be for Ray," and I never gave it to you.
Perfect, awesome.
Yeah.
Yay! I got booty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, going back to the whole Queen topic. So now that she passed away, like I'm looking at all these conspiracy theories that are like now saying that the king, because it's he was Prince Charles. He's now the king, right? And they anointed him and all that stuff. But they're saying like he's all tied in with like the New World Order and everything. So like people are losing their minds.
Oh jeez.
Like there's one group on because I'm in a bunch of like message groups, and one of them it was my buddy. He was like, "Hey, this is like a survivors group, to prep for." Just in case of an emergency, right? So I was like, all right, this is kind of cool because I started getting food when COVID hit, right? I have a whole pantry full of like stocked up food. And I was like, I kind of want to learn stuff, especially since I'm out here in the woods, right? To survive in case something goes down. And man, this is one girl, this is one lady in there. She's like, oh, it's the end times now. He's in charge. He's the New World Order. I was like, and it's funny too because my buddy was like, "Can you provide more details? Like, what's going on?" And she's like, "You'll see, like all ominous and shit." I'm like, "What? I don't want to see.
Oh
It's
man.
hilarious. Yeah, Twitter's going crazy with all the tweets. It's hilarious. But Lynn's like, I don't know. I don't hear none of this. I didn't even know. What happened?
Yeah,
Who died?
it's news to me.
Who died?
Oof.
That's hilarious.
But you know what? That's another person who has lived like into their 90s. You know, life expectancy isn't that long. Life expectancy, I think, for women is like 80 something, and for men,
Man,
it's
it's like
70
70.
something.
Yeah. 70
Yeah.
something, yeah. So, yeah.
So here we go. Somebody else
I don't even know if I want.
adrenochrome and living extra years.
I don't even know if I want to live to be 70. That's like really old. I'm
That
like,
is pretty old.
your body's failing you, your mind's
Mhm.
failing you. I don't know. Like they say, it's better to go out young. It's better to go out young.
Who said that? No one ever.
Said Trish said, royal family has no legislative power. How would they influence? Because I still think they influence the prime minister over in the UK. So they still have a voice. And I don't know, there's like a bunch of photos of King Charles with like prominent NWO people.
Mhm.
So everybody's like, oh, look at this. Look at these photos. Listen, it was the same photos, but they had one where it was like the guy from Russia and he was with Bush and like they were all in these like gowns looking like they were Freemasons. So it's
Okay.
like it's these like weird ass photos always coming around and people are like, look, new world order.
Mm-hmm. That was somebody's themed birthday party.
Yeah, for real. They pay them all. They just had a show up fee. And they're like, hey, throw on these robes. And they're like, all right, whatever. This is what you're paying me to do. It's hilarious. Yeah, so over the weekend was 9/11. It was 20,
Yeah.
what they said, 21 years?
Holy
21
crap.
years for remembrance. Why can't I say that word? More fun time.
Yeah, so I heard I heard a fact about it on Sunday. It was like that the firefighters like walked up 2,900 and like something stairs to get to the I think it's to the top floor or whatever, you know, and just hearing statistics like that kind of like makes it real to me. Because you think about like how many steps that is, you know, how brave they had to be to go in there. And like that day wasn't the day for them to come back home, you know?
And it sucks. Like a lot of those guys, yeah, they got caught when it collapsed. Got
Yeah.
all caught in there and everything.
Yeah. But they went in there.
See,
They did, you know, what they felt was the right thing to do. And, you know, there's a lot of pride in
like
that.
that was always real to me as far as like, because I believe that's what we talk about on the show, that there's people who have that innate want to do good, right? It's, of course, there's evil people everywhere, right? We talk about that all the time, that there's bad people doing bad things. But I really do feel like when that time comes, most people will do good, right? When somebody needs help, people come rushing over. You see it all the time, right? And so, like, that's not the part that really gets me. It's just what we were told. And we had this conversation before where it's like, I don't think we were told the true story, and I don't think we're ever going to get the true story because, some of the stuff is deemed classified, right? So there's holes in that story. And I know, when you go down that rabbit hole, people are like, oh, well, metal doesn't burn like this, or a plane can't do that, and all that stuff. But I don't know. The thing I take away from it is that, yes, it was a tragedy, but I look at it as, once again, like you said, how many steps the firefighters actually went up, that perseverance to want to save somebody, right? That will, like, that to me is the one thing I get from it. And every year that it comes by, that's what I think about. I think about those first responders that went in with no questions asked to say, we need to do right. We need to save people.
Yeah.
And that's
some ballsy shit right there, man.
It is.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know what the words to say, but I was like,
holy crap. Yo, firefighters run into burning buildings, but imagine that morning, like the towers are above you on fire, like hecticness, chaos, and you're there to do a job.
And what's crazy is the weeks after that, right? We saw the people just getting up and going to the city to help.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, just normal people, just feeling the call, right?
Yeah.
After that, the military had an increase, like a spike up of people joining,
Mm-hmm.
just saying, "Hey, you know what? I want to fight. I want to fight for our rights. I want to like they did this to us. I want to do this, right? I want to join the fight." So it's crazy how not just that day, like the first responders, but even all the few weeks afterwards, the people that were willing to volunteer and just wanted to help. So I have faith. I really do have faith in humanity in the sense that that's going to prevail eventually.
Yeah.
Not all this new world order stuff that people are freaking scared of. Because for that all that new world order stuff to take over, we would all have to be part of it, right? Like they need us, right? If they
Mhm.
hopefully they need us, right? If they need us to keep the world going around, we got to buy into that. And I don't think most people are evil like that.
I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people already blindly follow. We're definitely,
They do.
a herd of sheep.
They do, and I also believe that if they were to take out like half of us, right,
Mm-hmm.
then the other half will follow too because of fear. But I
Right.
always think that there's always going to be that small percentage of the fighters who are always going to change things. They're going to be the
Yeah.
disruptors. They're going to be the ones going against the grain and be like, hell no, forget this.
Man, I'm going against the grain in my you know how I sit on the board of a nonprofit.
Uh-huh.
So
You shaking the ship over there?
yeah, man, I'm freaking speaking my mind like they taught me.
Good, good. Because they need help over there. They got that victim mentality, and I hope you shake that shit out of them. Get out of that. Smack them with positivity.
Tris, so military enrollment is going to fall short by 20% this year and it's trending down. Any possibility that we'll get another 9/11 to increase numbers?
Well, that depends on what you believe with 9/11 and what narrative you believe. If you believe that it was a false flag, then yeah, we could see a false flag just so that we can get those members coming in. You know?
Before 9/11, we had the same downward trend.
Right. So, and right now, the reason why we do have a downward trend with the military is because the military went woke, right? They're doing a lot of things where it's part of that message, part of that agenda that a lot of people are leaving. Another reason too is I know a lot of soldiers were trying to get exempt from the vaccine and they just got booted. So,
wow.
yeah. So there's a lot of things in play right now where Tris is 100% right. Our military is weak. So could it be that it's something where it's legit, where we have, one of our enemies sees us as being weak and they decide, hey, let's start a war or something. And, this war is a call to people to come back. But I don't know, because I'm seeing more and more of people saying, and this is what's really hard, is why should I die for this country? A lot of more young guys are saying that. Why should I die for this country?
Yeah.
If I'm considered public enemy number one, why should I enroll? Why should I die for this country?
And you know what? It's that we've lost
that
sense of community. We've lost that sense of like, this is our nation. I'm proud to be here.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing as a nation to build that pride?
Yes. And I'm glad you said that, because that's another thing. Like I hear that more and more, where it's like that was the one thing that made us a superpower back in the day, was the fact that we had that sense of nationalism. That we were like, yes, we're America. We could do anything. And whatever we put our mind to, we would do it. Right. As a nation, we don't have that no more. We're a nation divided. We have a president right now that is very divisive, right? He's going on the network saying half of Americans are public enemy number one. They're terrorists, right? He's the FBI once again are raiding anybody that's been loyal to or supported Trump. They're getting raided. I think there was like 40 subpoenas out there, right?
Holy crap.
So if we're in a decisive need, think about the young guy. Think about the young guy who would want to join the military, right? Midwestern guy, right? He probably has, a Republican family, right? And now you have the country telling you you're enemy number one. He's going to be like, why would I want to fight for this nation if you're saying I'm enemy number one? Right? Then we also have a society where we're showing where men are disposable, right? Where it seems like if you're not the other sex, then you're the bad guy. Like, I don't really see how you're gonna get a lot of these guys to say, yeah, I swear to give my life for this country.
Yeah.
It's sad. Something has to change. The message has to change. And I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon.
It's the Wild West out here, man. This
So
is
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know if a terrorist attack would have the same effect as it did 21 years ago. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like the ones who would be called by the terrorist attack, like seeing that terrorist attack, I don't think they would join. I really don't think. Like,
So
super.
do you feel like if 9/11 happened this year, we would not have had the same effect it had
I don't think
when
so.
it happened in 2011? Or just if we had another repeat kind of flag event, yada, yada, we wouldn't have the same response?
I think what I see every time something happens, like when there's a mass shooting or when there's something that's going on, people question the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
People are questioning that. They're saying, I don't know if I should trust CNN. I don't know
Right.
if I should trust my government. We're in a place where people do not trust their government. So if they don't trust their government, why would they fight for their government?
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. IRS just hired 80,000 people. And I'm guaranteed 80,000 people signed up for that job.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm wrong. And maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. But I really do feel like a lot of young men are feeling lost in this country today.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think that they're going to go and sign up and say, yeah, I'm going to put my life on the line for this country.
Yeah. And that really sucks. As a woman, like, I definitely prefer, a masculine man over a feminine one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming from the opposite sex.
Yeah, but if you're a masculine man nowadays, what are you? You're considered toxic.
Yeah.
You're considered the bad guy. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll fingers crossed something like that. Fingers crossed something like that doesn't happen because 9/11 was a tragedy, and I don't want to see something like no matter what narrative you want to believe.
Exactly.
People lost their lives. First responders, like we said, they went in, they lost their lives too. I don't want to see that, and I definitely don't want to see what the aftermath was. With wars and all that afterwards.
Yeah. With wars, the war crimes that our soldiers were,
Yep.
expected to commit.
Yep. Like right now, I'm seeing just people on Twitter like saying like, oh, Russia looks like they're positioning themselves to increase their war efforts, which that's just going to have even more of an impact, right? We're starting to see gas prices go down, but now gas prices might shoot up again. I'm hearing that like for me, for my heating here, I got to get oil, and I heard that it's like a 50% increase of what I was paying last year. Yeah, so it's probably gonna be like 1,000 or not more, like probably like 1,500 to just fill up that oil tank. So it's gonna be hard times, and like the winter, like to me, I always felt like if there was a new world order, they would want to do things over the winter so they can actually freeze and starve people out. If it's really about population control and all that stuff, like people say. So I don't know. I don't want to think that way.
Like the lady in your group message.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, you'll see. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't want to be like that. And it was funny too, because like back in 2020, my buddy at work was like super with like all the Anon and all like Q and all that stuff, like all the QAnon and Q and all that stuff. And I was just like, bro, you got to know, like I understand that we're seeking the truth, but you got to also know when you're being manipulated by some things. And it was just like some of the things that I was hearing, like, oh, how like Trump had the military and the military was gonna like keep him in office all the time. I was like, that's not gonna happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe the election was, there was some cheating and shenanigans going on with the election, due to the mail-in ballots, which was, a fluke because of COVID. And once again, I think COVID was exaggerated more than what it was due to the fact that we had an election, right? What's the saying? Don't let a crisis go unused, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to manipulate things, and I will say things were manipulated. But some of the crazy stuff, that was just like you can't win the argument when you go that crazy.
Right. Trish said, Ray, get a wood burning stove and start chopping wood. I see trees behind you.
I thought about it, man. I even thought about a pellet stove because you can just go right down to Home Depot and just buy the pellets, and they're
I'm
cheap.
telling you don't need any of that. You just need to set up your tents inside the house.
Right. Just get your asses in there.
And just stay in there. Huddle for warmth.
Actually, there was the one winter where my ex moved out and like I refused to get heat that winter. Like I didn't even fire it up, so I know it's doable. I mean, it wasn't a rough winter, but it was doable. We could do it. So if I have to, but man, I got the downstairs. I mean, I have the chimney for that. I just have to have somebody come take out the one I have and put it in. That's gonna be a bitch and I have to do too. Replacing it.
You're a homeowner, man. There's always something.
Yeah, I don't like having a home. I don't know why people want this so bad. Oh, I want the white picket fence. I want a home. You can't own homes.
No,
Like,
buy a house, they said.
Home?
It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah, why have a home? This is what I keep saying. Get a van and just live out that joint.
Once.
Even if you find somebody, right? And you're like, oh, in love, and you're talking about getting married, you both can have your vans side by side. And when you have an argument, you go to your van, and she goes to her van, or whatever. So you both can have your van and just have a nice van duplex. It's like, I don't understand why people want homes, man. It's just nothing but nonsense. Like right now, my garage, right? My garage door doesn't open, so I have to get somebody to fix the garage door. Mm-hmm. But I can't do that until I get an electrician to look at the wiring because the little motor caught on fire. But the reason why that caught on fire is probably because a mouse went in there and set that shit on fire. So now I gotta get an exterminator first to make sure that they can't keep getting into that garage. See, it's fucking trickle effect. Like, why do you want that shit? I don't understand why people want homes.
Because if you just fix the garage door, that's a Band-Aid. It's gonna break again.
It's gonna break again, exactly.
Jeez. There is a New York Times article that points out that Republicans were caught and sentenced for mail-in fraud. No Democrats.
It was fraud on both sides.
It's a New York Times article.
That too. Like, yeah, you got to question your source. There was fraudulent actions on both sides. There was a documentary that was out there showing how things were corrupt. I know some states were doing investigations. All I'm saying is we can't look at the past. We got to look at towards the future, and we got to ensure it. Like, I don't know why people are throwing tantrums when you say, hey, let's have voting IDs. Let's stop having people who are dead voting. Like, I don't understand any of that. And trust me, both sides do it. I'm just saying these are the things that I keep hearing over and over again. Like, right, what's like right now, you're crucified if you say, hey, let's look into the voting machines. Let's do an audit. Let's just make sure that when you pick A, at the end result is still A, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, if we trust these machines, let's make sure that A is not switching over for B. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to audit. Nobody wants to question anything. It's like, oh, so taboo. You're a conspiracy theorist. You need to be censored. I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. It's like if the 2020 election was so divisive, right, and so questionable, and so people just both sides question, oh, what's going on and all this. Why not get it ready the next 4 years? It's 2 years now to ensure that no shenanigans. And you got a Democratic president that could be touting that message. You got a Democratic Congress that could be touting that message. You got all these people in charge that could be saying, hey, look, 2020 was so bad. Let's make sure it doesn't happen. Let's give the people, warm, comfy feeling when they go for. Plus, do you know how well right now, how good they would look if they did that? It's like, well, the Democrats want us, audit and make sure it's a good election, maybe I should trust them. But they won't do that. They won't do it. That's all I'm asking for. You know, if everybody felt like, oh, this election was like wonkadoo, let's fix that shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we're seeing with all of our issues, especially with the different isms, is that everyone's just like, oh, look at this issue, look at this issue. Nobody's really being a leader, stepping up and saying, hey, let's do this about this issue.
Right. And that's why I'm saying, like, we got to be done with politicians and we need leaders. What up, Tadashi? Welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
Thank you guys for being on the show today, giving us content. But yeah, you're right, Lynn. Like everybody wants to cry about things, but nobody wants to offer solutions. Yeah. So I keep saying, like, we need to be done with politicians, and this is on both sides, because there's dinosaurs on both sides that have been around for 30 years. You know they're corrupt. You know they've been getting money from lobbyists, right? They've been getting pay bumps and all this shit. It's like, why don't we get rid of them? Why don't we stop with the politicians and start with leaders, people who want to take action? And that's one thing I do like about all that's been going on, is that a lot of these communities are starting to see people start stepping up, sick and tired of this stuff, and saying, hey, I want to be that leader. So it's actually kind of cool.
You know, going through everything in family court, the other morning I had some extra time and I was just kind of walking around the courthouse, and I was walking down the hallway and there was like a bunch of like framed photos of like judges. And there had to be like at least 15 of them. And they were all mad old. They were all Caucasian. Like, I was just
all
like,
your current judges?
Yep. I was like, this says something about, this courthouse. And like thinking about it now, like it would have meant more to me to see somebody I could relate to on that wall than seeing her cast as a Disney character. It would have meant more to me seeing somebody I could relate to on the wall of judges than seeing someone I can relate to as a Disney character.
But then in the other
society
sense,
is backwards.
Right. But then in the other sense, I don't know. I'd rather have somebody who's good for the job.
Right.
I don't really care for the color of your skin. I want somebody that's right for the job. Like especially if I'm going to court, right? I don't care who's up there. I want to see somebody who's going to be fair and balanced. That's it. Like, and are you going to hear my side?
I didn't feel that sense of like, oh, wow, like these are, the right people for the job. I saw a sense of like, wow, these are all white men.
And that, to me, that doesn't bother me.
Men.
That doesn't bother me because...
And you know what? It is that prejudice inside of me. Like, it's that racism inside of me. Because I looked at it, I was just like, wow, this is exactly
every
what
time, listen, every time I go to court, because I have to evict one of my tenants, right? I know I'm going to, especially in New York, I'm going to be the bad guy because I'm well-to-do, right? I own the house. I should deal with their bullshit because I'm the landlord, right? And because I figured out a way to own a home, I'm now the bad guy, right? So every time I go there, I get nervous. And every time I see the one judge, I'm like, all right, cool. He's fair and balanced. He's going to listen to their side. He's going to listen to my side. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to side with me. Because he's going to be like, look, you agreed we were going to pay the rent. You're not paying the rent. Get out. And that's all I want. That's all I want. When I go to court, I want fair and balance. Like, I don't care about how you look. I don't care about your gender. I don't care about what you do in the bedroom. None of that shit matters. Are you fair and balanced? That's all I'm asking for from a judge. It's like, give me the right guy for the job. That's it. Or the right person. Sorry, the right person for the job. If it's a woman who knows how to be fair and balanced, cool. But you say that your female judge doesn't like you.
Yo,
that's not being
you know what? It's not even like I pick up like she doesn't like me. She just, I don't know. She just keeps agreeing with him. She's just like, oh yeah, you make so much sense. Tell me more.
So what did you at that point? Don't you want a male judge? Like you're like, come on, I can't win with this woman.
Damn! Like if she only freaking knew, man.
Yeah.
Whew.
So
all right, what's Chris talking about over here? American politics are starting to look like third world country politics, where politicians are going to start getting killed.
Yep.
Ooh.
And a lot of people of wealth are leaving because of the fact that America right now is showing signs of a civil war. I hate to
Mhm.
say it. I don't want it, but it's showing signs, and people are skipping shit because they're like, why should I be like this? They saw it in other countries. They saw, the political game, the games that they played in other countries. They came over here, and now they're seeing it again. And Trist, you're 100% right. The politics is just, it's just dirty right now. And when Trump was like, "Yo, we got to clear the swamp," I agree about that. But I think it's everything, both on the Republican side, on the Democratic side. Like to be honest with you, I think I'm leaning more towards being like a libertarian. If anything, if you want to label me that, maybe even more like an anarchist. Because I feel like, honestly, I feel like if the federal government was gone, I think we would be a lot better. Because I think it would go back to the states, and I think when it goes back to the states, it'll go back to the communities as far as understanding what the community needs, understanding what that state needs, and I think we would be as a whole, I think we would be better. But the most toxic thing right now is the federal government.
Trans. Autonomous judges just program all laws in, take people out of the equation.
So you think our law should be?
Welcome to the stream.
So you think? What up, Z? Welcome back. So Tris, you think that we should go to like a computer and let the computer decide our fate? That would be horrible. I want human emotion. I want some kind of human emotion in that, because there's a chance where if you go in front of the judge and you show some kind of remorse, the judge can detect that from you as far as your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. This our law system is corrupt, because if you have money, you can get away with murder, right? We've seen that time and time again. But as far as just like regular Joe Schmo, I want to be able to go up there. There's factors. Like, you go to court, if you dress up nice, right, you're going to be respected more. A computer's not going to do that.
Don't make a difference. FYI, has not made a difference.
You try going in a suit? That chick does not like you,
and get this. I have this thing in my mind about like if I go to an interview, if I go to court, I wear a skirt suit. So I'm in a skirt suit with my little heels, and I'm still not getting it. I'm not getting it.
It's because it's a female judge, and then you're talking about equality. Here you go, you got a female judge, because that's how women are. You guys size each other up instantly, and for whatever reason, either you like her or you despise her. Like, I don't understand why women love that drama. And it's like, you could just look at a woman and you're like, I despise you. And now she has to be fair and balanced when she just has that natural instinct that she despises you. Trust me, I've seen it time and time again. You're not the only one that I know who goes through family court in New York who's a woman and dealing. It's probably the same judge, because you're doing it in Goshen. So it's probably the same judge who just doesn't like young women. I don't know why.
Which sucks too, because that means, like, is she really being fair? Is she really the best person for the job?
Not. And now you're stuck with her. Ooh. Whereas if you would have had a male judge, he probably would have been more fair and balanced.
Well, no, I don't agree, because I've had a female judge in the past, and I don't know, she was a smart one. She saw right through it.
I don't know. It sounds to me like the judge is being vindictive, because most of the time when you go to court, right, well, at least with family court, it should feel like every party is losing. Mm-hmm. But what I'm getting from you, it feels like he's just winning all the time.
Yes.
So that's not fair and balanced.
Yeah.
That's not. And good luck trying to change the judge. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But the states are what gave birth to the federal system. The states came together to create the federal system because they couldn't handle things alone. Just 15 years after gaining independence, they said, nope, can't do it alone.
Yeah, but also, when you look at the documentation that governs our country, they didn't have all this stuff that our government is like overblown. Like, they didn't know we were going to have an FBI or an ATF or, NSA or, CIA, all these things that are causing so much problem. Like, look at that whole war on drugs, right? This whole thing where people are 20 years in prison for marijuana, and now marijuana is legal. That's a person's life that they just wasted for something that was decriminalized later on down the road. Like, I don't know. To me, I feel like we have too many laws on the book, and I don't think that's what the forefathers intended when we fought for our sovereignty, right? I don't believe in that. I think we need to get back to the documentations that founded this country, that made this country great, which, that's why I was applauding the Supreme Justice when they were upholding the Constitution. I think we need to get back to that and get rid of all this overblown, especially with taxes. You think our forefathers would be happy with the IRS? Come on, man.
Right.
They literally like, you got to tax tea? No.
Tadashi says, hey, I'm planning to convert to Hinduism.
Nice. Why?
And
That's
from
what?
what?
I always ask whenever.
Why and from what?
Yeah, from what and why. Yeah, that would be cool. Let's talk about it. I like it. I like it because you have a conviction for something. You believe in it. You want to get into it. I want to know the reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I really do think that we should. I would love it. I would lose my shit. But you know what? Nobody's gonna do it because it's work, and you really can't put people out of work, right? That's just a bad thing to do. But I would just love it if the president came in and be like, we're getting rid of the FBI, we're getting rid of ATF, we're getting rid of not the IRS because that's their money, right? We're gonna downsize. Maybe they said downsize the IRS. Like, my God, I would lose my shit. I was like, what?
Tris, their forefathers would be because they were all wealthy landowners.
Yes, that did not like to be taxed. So I don't think they would be down with a lot of the stuff that's going on, bro. I really don't think so. Think about it. Think about what they wrote. Like, they wrote this document. I mean, they were young guys too. They were like all in their 20s when they wrote this, which to me, I'm like, man, they must have been genius. That they sat together, right? Their personalities didn't take over, right? They sat together. Of course, they could have had their indifferences or whatever, but they actually drafted this documentation that 200 years later we're still following, somewhat, right? Sometimes it gets questionable, right? Or like gun control and all that. Actually, I think gun if you want to look at the biggest form of racism, I think it's gun control. To me, that's like the biggest form. Because you got Midwest, right? Which is majority white, right? And they love their guns. They got it all out there, free to carry states and all that. And who's the ones that are really coming up with aggressive gun control? It's your urban communities, right? It's your New York, New Jersey, right? It's your California. Like, to me, I find that super racist.
I've been reading Hindu scriptures, and it like felt so much scientific and helpful for me in many ways.
Good. So you feel
that
calm
relatability, that deeper understanding.
Yes. And you know what? Do it for a little bit, or do it for, do it now because you feel that calling. If later on down the road you get what you needed out of it, cool. Let's switch over to something else. Good on you, man. Good on you. Yeah, Tadashi, I'm always proud of Tadashi, man. He's very enlightened for his age.
Oh, I'm pushing too many buttons.
Pushing away. Good, man. That's good. Because, one thing I always tell, what I say is, like, with me, I feel I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious. Like, I don't want to follow the Bible. I don't want to follow the church. I feel like there's corruption there, too, because that's human nature. Wherever you go, there's going to be corruption, right? There's actually a movie that just came out. I saw it on Peacock. It's Honk for Jesus, I think that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And it's about the pastor who he's making bank. Like, in the movie, he had a mansion. He was living in a mansion. He had like a Bugatti, like all these like cars, Lambos and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like there was a scandal that happened, and they started losing their money, right? So once again, like, to me, that shows me like the corruption of the church. Now, the one thing I had against the movie was the scandal, and to me, it felt like it was part of the message, and it was trying to like, attack the church in a way. So like that's, but once again, what I'm saying is like there's people in the church that are evil too.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They are. So that's why you gotta take spirituality. Like we all need spirituality. We all have that built in, that need for it. But we got to do it on our terms. I was reading somewhere where it's saying that people have uh like a built-in need to worship.
Hmm.
How do you feel about that?
A built-in need to worship.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting concept because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of, well, I don't know, because I haven't really like practiced a religion. You know, like I grew up in the church, but I haven't really practiced a religion, and I feel like saying that you have that in you, like it does make sense because you do have that sense of like there has to be something greater than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, that makes sense.
Well,
Sure, why
it
not?
always, and if you think about it, whenever something bad goes, whenever something bad goes down, what's
Hmm.
the instant thing that we all do? Oh God, please help me out.
Yeah,
It's like we naturally pray when something
yeah.
bad happens. It was just weird when I saw it. I was like, not weird. It was like, oh,
Interesting concept. It's
interesting.
enlightening.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
interesting.
okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's interesting. Oh, we got some comments popping up.
Yeah, we do. So yeah, from last month, I'm researching regarding Hinduism. Whenever I felt not sure what that is, Bhagavad Gita, I felt so calm and happy. Like it is one of the best feelings I ever had.
Okay, so yeah, it's your calling. It's your calling. You're connecting. You're feeling your balance. So
Mm,
you're channeling that energy, and when you don't have that, you're feeling off. For me, like that's like why I need nature. Like I feel I've been so called to nature lately, where when I'm in nature, I feel that positivity. I feel that balance.
right.
Do you know there's actually a
It's more of a
religion like
built-in
that?
need to make a connection with something higher.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why we had that need to worship.
Hmm.
And when we denied that need to worship, which is where I see our society is in now, as you
Hmm.
can see, religion has lost its structure and its hold on society. It's where we go more into that needing to fulfill that with that self gratification, the instant gratification, all the materialistic things, all
Hmm.
the as like the Bible would say, false gods, which is those kind of things, right?
Right.
So I think when we start feeling our balance with that, no matter what it may be, if it's, like Tadashi right now is feeling his balance in Hinduism, just being spirituality. I think when you find that balance in there, you feel less gravitated to that other path.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's wrong with society. I think that's why when people go down that path and they realize I'm still not happy, I'm still not fulfilled, I still don't have balance, that's where people start getting that, depression and anxiety and all that stuff. It's like, wait, I thought this was going to make me happy, but it's not.
Right. Yeah, because we need to find that happiness from within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that's going to be fulfilled from something that we buy or something that we
Correct.
build or create. Like, no, we have to find it from within us because really it's in our mind.
It is. It is.
All of this, our reality lives within our minds, and it's all about how you perceive your world, your situations, your the different seasons in your life. Like for me, like I'm going through shit right now, and like I'm like on edge as far as like emotional, like I break into tears every other day, and it's just part of the healing process. Like every day cannot be sunshine and rainbows.
Correct.
Yeah. And you have to, allow yourself to feel those feelings in order to work through them and, have a healthy outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to meditate. You
Yeah.
got to meditate and relax your mind, because when you dwell too much on it, you're realizing like it's just draining. It's draining when you dwell on things. It's like you got to realize like I got to just let go and just live in the now. If I can't control this, right? I can't change this right now. What can I do right now?
Hmm.
That's it. And a lot of people we forget to be present. You know, we're always worrying, or we're always dwelling on the past, right? We're worrying about the future. It's like we gotta live in the now.
Yeah.
Like this is what we got right now. This is what I can control right now.
Something that like opened my mind to the right now perspective was the book I read, Shambhala, and I speak a lot about it. It's basically it's like the mind path of a warrior,
Hmm.
like the samurai warrior, and you know it just goes into like detail about like your everyday and like being you know finding gratitude in the monotony, finding
Hmm.
gratitude in just you know the upkeep of what you do have and
And
letting go of like that chasing carrot mentality.
I think it's cool that you mentioned a warrior because think about the life of a warrior, right? They could die at any moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could be here right now, taking in this moment, and then you go into a battle 2 seconds later and you're dead, right?
Yeah.
That's the mindset of a warrior. So yeah, you're embracing every moment, every day that you're still alive, right? So that's actually pretty cool that you mentioned that.
Mhm. I talked about it to my parents. I told them about Hinduism. They're okay with it, so I decided to share it with this family also.
I say go
Oh,
for
thank
it.
you for
Go
sharing
for
it.
it, brother.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
go
did
for it,
share it.
brother. Do you? If whatever you feel will take you know the action you need to take to make yourself be a better person, then do it.
Mhm.
Do it. And then listen, if later down the road you decide you want to convert to something else, then I would say do it too. Do it too, because this might have been something you needed now as opposed to what you need later.
Right.
Now, what I know Lynn's question was what are you converting from? So what are you now as opposed to religion and all that? Because I know some religions, you know, if you leave, they're like, oh, that's taboo, and we don't ever want you back.
Mm.
Which is crazy because I like, how are you gonna, if you're supposed to be the shepherd of your flock, right, and your flock falls, well, how are you not gonna be able to pick them back up?
Mhm.
You know, like there's no like sense of redemption with some of these religions. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
weird.
I mean, in ancient tribes, like if someone showed any kind of like cowardice, like they would be kicked out of the tribe,
Hmm.
you know, because like that's a disease and it spreads quickly. And you
Yeah,
know, with that being in the tribe, like the tribe would fall.
like you mentioned, samurai. Samurais had a big thing about being dishonorable.
Hmm.
Like if you were, but in the same sense, they also had to have their what was it, their shogun that they had to follow,
Hmm.
right? So they were. It was weird because it was like you have to have honor, but you also had to have something to follow,
Hmm.
right? And if you didn't have something to follow, then you become a Ronin, right? You were like without that leadership, right? Without that, so it was like it's weird because they were really big on being dishonorable. Tadashi's, oh no, Trish said Tadashi's probably in Scientology. Scientology, man, that's crazy. Have you heard of that religion, Lynn?
I've heard the term, but I really don't like understand it or anything. No.
So it was created, and I'm gonna butcher the history, but it was like this sci-fi, like this guy wrote sci-fi books, and then he created that religion, and now it's like super popular in like Hollywood. Like I think Tom Cruise is like the main guy, like part of it and stuff. And there was like a bunch of people that were part of it, and like they tried getting out of it. It was like really cult like.
Hmm.
They won't let you go once you get in.
There are
But
there are a
it's
few places like that.
yeah, and it's
Some
really weird
religions.
because what I've heard from it is like you got to buy your way to the next level.
What?
Yeah, yeah, you got to buy your way into the being saved.
Hmm. Crazy fact about samurais: highly homosexual.
Oh, that happens a lot. Listen, that happens a lot in a lot of. I know. What was it? The Spartans were like that too. It's like you're around a bunch of guys. I mean, so I didn't even get out of the military. That life wasn't for me. I was like, I'm out of here.
Tadashi does not know what that is. Scientology. He kind of went into it. Tadashi says he is Christian and Shinto.
Okay. But that's good. That's good on you that you're trying to find your own footing when it comes to spirituality. Like you
Mhm.
feel you're heeding the calling. Well, that's good on you.
His quote was, "If you want to be rich, be famous. If you want to be wealthy, create a religion."
Mm, okay. Lynn, would you want to be a cult leader?
I'd be a cult leader.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I could be a cult leader.
Right? Let's create a
But
cult.
I want to be a cult leader like back in like the 70s, where it was just like hippie hippie. We were just
Just have
outside,
make our own little
community and all that. Yeah.
yeah, what the hell are they called? Little compound.
Yeah. Well, they
Yeah.
have those. They have those in Florida. I heard like there's compounds where you just go and you have to like provide something.
Hmm.
So either you come in with money, yeah, communes, yeah, and either you come in with money to help build something, or you come in with like a skill set, and you're just helping out, and they're just living off the land, and they're just doing their thing. Back in the 70s is the worst example. I'm not talking about drinking the Kool-Aid kind of cult. I'm talking about the lovey-dovey happy cults. I specifically said that. I don't want to be like, all right, everybody, we're gonna drink the Kool-Aid. The feds are here. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. Drinking.
Right? That's crazy. Give it to
That's
the
how it
children
was.
too. Like, no, don't give it
That's
to the
how it was.
babies.
Yeah, and they
Holy
had guns on
crap.
them and everything. They were like, "You gotta drink this. Go! The feds are here." I don't want to be like that. That's not the kind of. No, I'm talking about the one like, "Hey, love you. Let's all love each other." That's the kind of call I want to be. The spaceship guy. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. No, I want to be like, it's all love and happiness, my family. Let's go. I want to be that guy.
We had a lot of cults in the 70s.
The Indian guy. Yeah, well, the Indian guy was kind of cool. Wasn't the Indian guy kind of cool?
Right? Supreme leader.
No, I don't want to be the supreme leader. That's the guy who's giving the Kool-Aid out. I forget all their names. No, I don't want to be the supreme leader. No, that's like some like G.I. Joe, Cobra Commando kind of thing. I don't want that.
No, I don't know how I'd feel about people worshiping me. As like a cult leader, people just being like, "Oh, anything like it's like I don't know, it's a little
Oh,
weird.
anything?
A little
Are
weird
you
around
okay,
here."
Lynn? We brought you some fresh strawberries, Lynn.
I love fresh fruit. Thank you.
Yeah, and you get your pick of the litter and be like, Lynn, you seem like you're stressed, Lynn. Should we send Marcelo over to your room? Lynn, would you like a foot rub, Lynn?
Oh man, I could take it to a whole nother extreme. We could like get into character. I could have it where it's like I live in the Egyptian pyramid. They have like the feathers and stuff, those really big leaves, the banana tree leaves.
But
Hair.
once again,
Oh, I
listen,
like
look
it.
at it.
I like
We were
it.
joking about all this stuff, but this is still that what I said earlier, where people have an inert need to worship.
Yeah.
So it's like, here you go.
That's
You can create your own
crazy.
cult, and they would be worshiping you.
Mm-hmm. Man, oh man.
If Mom was here, she'd be so mad at us to say that we would do a cult. She'd be like, "What are you doing? You can only worship God. You can't worship you."
I wouldn't be worshiping me. My people would be worshiping me.
You need to lead them. That's crazy, though. It's crazy because that's how it starts. It really starts like that. You find one person, and then you grow the following, and it's just like, all these people just like they're so lost in their lives that they would listen to every word you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could be a cult leader now that I'm thinking about it. No.
That's why I
No,
say know what you stand for, or you'll
no,
fall for anything, man.
no. It's like no. If anything, I want to
Like
empower you
actually, it
guys
sounds
to
kind
stand
of
on
nice,
2 feet.
but
Yeah, Mason was. Yeah. He was. Yeah, I saw that movie. That was crazy. He was a cult leader. He sent them to kill people, and they actually did it, bro. That's the scary part. Like, I wonder if he was like, if he was like, yo, if I send them to kill people, will they kill people? And then sure enough, he sent them, and they murdered people. That's crazy. They murdered that Hollywood actress, and she was pregnant too.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's gruesome. Shit.
yeah. I like Quentin Tarantino's movie though. He changed the ending. I like when he does that in movies. It's like I know it's not true to what it really happened, but spoiler alert, his ending was more dope. Yeah, no, I don't know.
The Black
Jesse's just
Dahlia.
going in on all the cults. He's like, don't be a cult. He's like,
Just
that
is
was a
like,
good
this is why I
movie.
used to binge watch. I know all the info. Let me
He
check my
thought,
TikTok.
you know what it is? Secretly, he thought about it too, and then he was like, I don't know. Cults have like a negative connotation. Like, I don't know. Unless he secretly wants that. He's like, I could be the next Mason. Next Manson. I could be the next Manson. Freaking hilarious.
I saw like the documentary when like they raided his not Manson. Damn it, what the hell is his name? But when they raided like one of the compounds, I was like, I was rooting for them. I was like, oh man, what's the government doing there? Get them off their
Oh,
property.
the one in Waco was the one I was
That
rooting for
one,
because they
Waco.
went in
Like, what
and they were
the
like, oh, that
hell?
they were their own community, but because they were armed, right, and they were like starting up an army, the government, once again, three-letter agencies came and
Yeah.
fucking
They're
killed
like,
them
nah,
all
we don't like
and burnt
this.
the whole place down. And I'm like, fuck
Mm.
that. That's why, like, I'm like, look, let's knock down some of these three-letter agencies.
Yeah.
Look, I get it, Chris. Like the federal government, where it's probably not going to go away, but we could trim the fat. It's definitely fat, and we could trim some of it. Get rid of some of these three-letter agencies. Like the ATF, what do they do? Why do we have the ATF? I don't know why we have that. Let's get rid of that. That's the first one. I don't even know. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, get rid of it. We need all that stuff. Get rid of it. Like, what do you need enforcement for that? Like, I don't understand why we need a three-letter agency for that. Let's get rid of it. It's like so many. Trim the fat. But you know what's crazy is like serial killers, man. Serial killers, like I was watching, what was it, the Summer of Sam? The Summer of Sam killer, where he don't body shame the government. I'm gonna body shame the government. The government needs to get in shape. Listen, I'm a big boy and I don't like all these PC shit. I want people to body shame me so I freaking feel some guilt and get back in shape. Like, no, you're unhealthy. US government is unhealthy. It's gonna have a heart attack. It needs to start working out at least 3 times a week. Yeah, but no, the Summer of Sam, man, he was like this killer back in like the 70s in New York City, terrorizing the city. And when they asked him like why was he doing it, he said the dog was telling him to do it. So that was like a creepy part in the movie when the movie was like, kill them all, Sam, and the dog was talking to him. I was like, yo, that's creepy. Can you imagine if your mind goes down work when somebody starts talking to you?
That's crazy.
For me, it'd be like the groundhog out there. I'll go outside and the groundhog's like, kill them all, Ray. Like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, the Son of Sam.
I think the groundhog would start a little kinder. You'd just be like, hey, how's it going, Ray?
So. I hope that when my mind goes, if I ever lose my mind, I hope it's more like a Disney cartoon and the cartoons are like singing and like, oh, you gotta find your way, Ray, and all this stuff. I don't want that dark shit. Yeah, the Son of Sam. Yeah, that guy was crazy, bro. He said the dog told him to do it.
Yeah.
I think the name of the movie was Summer of Sam, where it was like that summer where he was just killing everybody. And then they played, sure enough, in the movie, there's that scene where the dog, spoiler alert, the dog's like, kill him, Sam, kill him all. I was like, oh. Dad, and like once again, like those movies where like they're talking to somebody and it turns out that it was them all along. Like there was nobody there. Like
that's crazy to me. Yeah.
That's the shit that freaks me out. Like, what? Split personalities?
Right. And like the person doesn't even know. Like the person's completely oblivious to the fact that there's an imaginary person following them around 24/7.
Tris, are you trying to admit something right now?
What?
This is like the Zodiac killer was never caught. Are you hinting at something, Tris? It was me. So, I was
Actually, Tris, it seems like you've been watching Criminal Minds, and you're only on season 5. Come back when you're up to like season 12. They do find the Zodiac killer.
so there was I was watching a talk on cyber forensics, right? And there was the lady. She was from the UK, and there was a killer out there. I think he was the what's his name? Because it was something crazy. It was like disembody, kill, torture, something like that. That was like his acronym.
Mhm.
And he was actually taunting the police. This was like in the early 2000s. He was like really taunting them because he was doing things where he would walk into a Home Depot and like leave a body part right there in the center of Home Depot and
Holy
trying to get caught, and they just weren't catching him. And so he actually wrote it, like he reached out to the police, and he was like, if I give you a floppy disk, can you do any kind of like forensics on this to like catch me? And they're like, no. And so he actually, blind, blind, torture, and kill, yeah. So he gave them the floppy disk, and then sure enough, they did the cyber forensics. They found a file that it was like a church file, and the church like it was like you know how like Word, when you create a Word document, it says who the creator is. So if you link your name, so they found Dennis, and they found the church, and they did they saw the roster, and that's how they finally caught him.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So so I was reading up on him, and I was like, man, that guy was crazy. And he was just ballsy. Like he was mad. He wasn't mad that he got caught. He was mad that the police lied to him. When he was like, yo, I thought you said you couldn't do this. And so the moral of the story is defund the police. They lie to you. No, that's not the moral of the story. No. I'm just joking. No, it was crazy. So like that was like it was cool. Like cyber forensics is cool. I kind of want to get into that. Like I started reading up on it more, looking at more like some of the incidents. This one lady, she was talking about how this girl ended up going missing, and they got into her iPod at the time, and they were looking through the iPod. They saw some of the apps that she had installed, and then they saw some of the recent messages that were going on. And sure enough, they found a communication between her and this guy. They sent the police to the guy's house, and she was in the basement. Yeah. So that's some cool stuff. Like I was like, man, if I would like to do save people like that, do forensics, being a nerd.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of pressure. In the moment, somebody's missing. It's up to you to find that
but that's the
detail.
thing. Like you're being Batman. It's like right there. You got to piece together. You got to be the detective and figure it out. My last job, the only forensics I did was when the case came in because somebody was looking at porn. And then, the investigator would come in because they were like, is it any like child abuse in this thing? Right? Is there any illegal thing? So they do that kind of stuff. It's like, man, I don't want to see people's kinks. I want to save people. Yeah, so I'm glad Trish knew the BT. What was it? The
BTK.
BTK. Yeah. So what was
Trish
it?
said
Was
this
it
is what he
bind?
does for a living. He researched killers.
Okay. Yeah, it was bind, torture, kill. That's how psycho that dude was.
Holy
And he gave him that name himself. He was like, "That's who I am. This is what I do to these people." I think he killed like 10 people before they caught him. Bind, torture. So he tortured them too. That's crazy. But he was leaving tons of evidence everywhere, and the police just couldn't get this guy. Like he was being really gutsy, really ballsy.
Come on.
Which I hear that's what serial killers are. It's like a game. It's not a game of how many people they can kill. It's a game with the police. It's like, hey, can you catch me? And I'm better than you. And that's the game they play. Yeah, it's crazy. Just got talking about serial killers. Yeah, watch out. We're gonna end up missing by the Trish killer.
Right? Jeez. No. Let
it
it be known on the record, if I go missing, it was definitely the father of my youngest child.
Oh my goodness, is that how it's gonna be? You gonna put it on him?
Yo, at
You gonna
any
put it on
point
him?
in my life, if I go missing, look for the damn breadcrumbs, yo. Look for them.
Jeez. Listen, now you got like a blank check. Anybody can get you missing, and they're gonna be like, oh, got her on tape. She said it's him.
Yo, 100%.
Crazy. That's crazy. Oh man. All right, we can't end the show on this though. We gotta end it on a good note. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. I love look at all the comments though. Trish is going in.
Yeah, man.
This is
That's
the
what he
most,
does for a living.
lively Trish has
Oh
ever
my
been.
god. Is that our main clientele? We're gonna attract the crazies on this
Serial
show?
killers? Oh my goodness.
Holy crap. I don't know
Ray
if I'm
said I
prepared
could
for
tap
this.
into my potential. I could
I
be
don't know if I'm
whatever I
prepared for
wanted
this.
to be.
I need to start pinging off of different things, make sure I'm,
Yo, you're not tagging the show
EN.
correctly. What you tagged on it? Serial killers. What are you
Holy
doing?
crap. Tristan, I only research, I don't enforce.
Okay.
Okay. Am I crazy?
Yeah, he admitted it on air too.
Well, this is the thing, Tris. Who is telling you to do these things?
Oh no, come on, it's his dog. Come on, man. It's a squirrel. You know what's funny is like I saw that movie and it was like so fucked up the things he was doing. I was desensitized by that. I played enough Grand Theft Auto, right? I've seen enough Mortal Kombat. That doesn't bother me. The dog telling him to do it, that's the shit that haunted me to this day. Because the dog was like, come on, Sam, come on. Like, no. Freaking squirrel. No, run, squirrel. Leave me alone. Don't tell me to kill anybody.
Yeah, I remember having I don't even remember the name of the movie. I don't remember what the movie was about, but there was a movie on VHS. And every time I watched this movie, I would rewind this part like 3 or 4 times because the guy goes around the corner trying to be all sneaky. And they have like a taxidermy, like stuffed like dog sitting there. And like it scares the shit out of him. And I thought that was the funniest thing for the longest time. It was just a random scene of just like this dog, so like that's what I'm picturing when you're like the dog is telling him to like do it.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
but it was his pet dog
sitting there.
and like at the scene like they made the dog talk. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, I got freaked out by that.
It says if seeing has you desensitized, audio will bring you straight back.
Oh no, I don't want to hear that.
You know what's crazy is as a kid and like even as an adult, I don't like scary movies. Like I don't watch it. I avoid that completely. But I like reading literature of horror.
Okay.
Does
that freak you out though as you're reading it because it's in your mind?
It does.
And then the house gets all
like
creepy and shit.
Like I feel maybe like watching it is too much for
I don't
my
know,
senses.
but once again, going back to like serial killers or just people who can do that kind of evil, I don't think that to me that's got to be something. That's an evil presence within that person. That has to be an evil presence. Like I know, like people don't want to believe in God and the devil and all that shit, but I believe that. I'm like when you have something that evil in you that you're dismembering, torturing, and killing people, and you do it over and over again. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's just a loose screw inside of your head. I think that's like demonic possession or something. I gotta believe it. I'm giving the person credit. It was like it wasn't enough. The devil made him do it. Maybe they could use that defense in court.
Shit, Tristan. The first time I heard it going on, I puked.
I can imagine. Yeah, audio is a different. Because I've heard some stuff that I didn't want to hear through audio, and it does have a different because your mind's putting it together. So
right.
It's kind of like when reading the book. It's like your mind is putting that together. So yeah, I can imagine. I don't want to do it. More power to you, Trista, if you actually do that. If you going through all that stuff, man.
Damn, like it always like what I watched the show Dexter recently. I binge watched like all.
Dexter's good. I like Dexter.
And like the fact that like he would be at these scenes and he would be completely like calm, collected, or whatever. It just like makes me think about how unnerved I think I would be in that situation. You know, like
Right, because he's like a serial
investigator.
killer. Right, so he's such a serial killer, so he's desensitized to like dismemberment and all
Yeah,
that.
he was like,
And
oh,
so
it's
he's
fine.
going in, he's doing his job. It's like me and you just, what the fuck? No, get out of here.
Yeah. Like, wait, I have what on my shoe? Like, I stepped in
Oh my
it.
God. Oh, I got dust on my shoe.
What?
Would you get rid of those shoes right there and then?
Absolutely.
Or just
Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing I have learned from life is that I do not have attachments to anything physical. Like,
Oh, good.
yeah, I value life. I value my babies. Like,
You know, the one thing I like about Dexter that you brought up that show is I loved his internal monologue that he has with himself. And it's almost like that dark side of him is like a split personality. And I love that they showed, spoiler once again for people who hasn't watched Dexter, that his dad was trying to help him be a better person. And he was like, look, I get it. If you're not, if you got this demon inside you, at least feed it this way, right? Be that voice of reason. And though it was still wrong what he was doing, at least you could see that internal battle between good and evil, which I think we all have that. I think we all have that. So that's what I really liked about it. It was just that whole like, oh, all right, okay. All right. So like every time he did it, he was feeding that monster, but he made sure he did his research and made sure that there was times when he was going to kill somebody and he realized, oh, wait, you weren't the person. Right. He's like, damn it, I can't feed the monster. So, yeah, the show was pretty good. They brought it back. So I haven't seen the because they ended it. Like, I don't know if you've seen the actual like ending of Dexter. It was just horrible. But I think they brought it back to kind of make amends of ending it in a crappy way.
When did they bring it back? Like recently?
Yeah, recently. I think it's still showing. Yeah, Showtime, like they brought him back.
Oh, geez. I'm gonna be binge watching.
Yeah. So once you finish it, know that when it gets on to the shitty part, know that that's not where
I did end it, like.
So now there's I think there's 2 seasons of the new Dexter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, the last season, like his son was older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So I think the new season, I think it's where so maybe you saw it already if the son because I think the way they brought it back was that the son is having that same turmoil. And now Dexter has to be that mentor for him. So I think that's the new show. So I'm not sure if you saw that.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, that had a horrible ending. So I don't understand, like, what
so
ending.
I don't know. See, I didn't see that. I just heard about it
so
where they brought that back. No, I saw the one where it was like the real horrible one with the first time Dexter was on TV.
Okay. So then I saw the newer one too.
Okay, so you saw the new one. All right, cool. Hey, look, we're ending with Dexter. It's the best we could do. We're talking about serial killers. That's like,
you're gonna be a serial killer. At least have a conscience.
Be a Dexter. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Dexter.
Listen, the show's all about positivity. Jeez. So if you're gonna listen, if you really have that calling, you have that dark demon inside you. The best you could do, get people who deserve it, right?
Basically.
I don't know. Do your work. Be a Dexter.
All right, guys.
We'll
see you on Thursday.
Love you guys. See you on Thursday. We'll be more lighthearted on Thursday.
Happy hump
Thank
day
you for everything, bro.